Hello, my stars. We have something you don't want to talk about. You don't want to talk about it. And I can feel all of your resistance. You have some shame about what you desire, what you want to express. I'm hearing about your sexuality, your shadow, in fact. There's so much that you're hiding from. There is so much that you still have not really brought to the foreground as something important to you. Because with the Ten of Swords, we talk about this carrying on of these mental thought patterns that are burdening you, that are really like over analytical, overly critical. I'm hearing overly perfectionistic. And for the first time with these, you see the horned creatures here that represents the wild unknown. There's this deer that's like kind of coming in, and this is representative of your current self, like your more innocent consciousness that's like, wait, why did I used to shame myself? It's really representative of the wild, curious version of you, where maybe you had repressed your sexuality in some way, your creative expression, or your desire, especially anything that you counted as a shadow aspect of you, instead of really understanding it. I'm hearing like there were forms of escapism, there were forms of obsession that you had dealt with, as well as I'm just getting like there's this crush energy, this ick energy, and you're like, I can't believe I used to feel this way, or I can't believe I used to think this way all the time. And you look back at that and it's very hard to reconcile. And I'm wondering if that is because you yourself have not witnessed the wild within you. You've witnessed the wild in other people, and you are a little bit scared to walk on that path because we're talking about the unknown, the wild unknown. And this is the place where your growth will be accelerated. I'm hearing that your quantum leaping, your manifestations actually sit in this energy where you expand into this truly seductive, magnetic, wild growth of yours, the wild version of yourself. What do we mean by this? We really mean raw, unfiltered, untamed. There was so much perfection that you put on yourself, your expression on your body. And I was feeling earlier all this like resistant energy, like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Like a lot of avoidance in your patterns because you needed to avoid the pain of rejection. You wanted to avoid the pain of loss and grief and abandonment. If you were perfect enough, then you wouldn't be abandoned. If you were perfect enough, if you were very careful, if you made sure you had everything done exactly the way it needed to, you checked off every box, you got your nails done, or you got your clothes like prim and proper, right? So made sure that you were dressing well, you were speaking well, you were performing well, like all of this performative energy. And what we're asking here is that this performing energy was so much cognitive load on your brain, like it was so heavy. It weighed you down, how much you had to perform all the time. When this energy came out, you were very resistant to it because this part of you that really expressed yourself in terms of embracing your shadow and healing that, in terms of embracing your sexuality, your desire, your much more wild, raw, and tamed side. It was very strange for you because it was so different from the persona you've been putting on for all these years. What would it mean to make mistakes? What would it mean for you to be unfiltered? What would it mean for you to just put something on the paper and be art without having to judge it or criticize it or shape it into something perfect? That was you. You are this art, fearing and avoiding this shame of Five of Cups right here, the shame and the grief of abandonment and rejection. You really worried about this rejection. And I'm hearing that in the past, you suffered a lot of rejection if you weren't handsome or pretty enough, if you weren't dressed well, if you looked unkempt or uncouth, or if you didn't use, the right language or the right words, you would get in trouble, I'm hearing. And For so long, you've been playing a role of this perfect person who says everything correctly all the time, who dresses right all the time, who has the perfect job or the perfect amount of certifications. And right, like, people tried to put you in a box or tried to say, well, unless you fit in this box, you don't belong. And you wanted to belong. You didn't want to be alone. You wanted to belong. But the truth is that there's a path ahead of you. Finally, that's revealed itself. You've walked one way down this road, and then another has revealed itself where you can go into the wild unknown and you can embrace what you truly desire to express and how you truly desire to be. You truly desire to be seen for your true self, not to be seen for somebody that you're not, right? Being seen and celebrated for someone that you're not is so much energy for you to put yourself into. Like, it's so much energy for you to use, so much energy for your body to create, and it's exhausting for you. It has worn you down when you just want to play, you just want to express, you want to create. You don't want to have to be this perfect thing that somebody can say, yes, this is exactly what I need. You need to be what you need, is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing that this clarity is coming in for you very soon, that you are going to have an opportunity to express yourself, to speak, is what I'm hearing, to really like say it out loud into the world instead of keeping it all in your head and saying, I reject this because I want to be who I am. I'm feeling all of this hesitancy, like you're like, I don't think I'm saying I don't think if I say that it'll be the right thing. I'm feeling all of this fear and hesitancy, and this is on its way out, this energy. It's fighting so hard. You know there is something big that you have to do. You know there is some new journey that you're going to embark on, something that you're waiting to receive. But the reason why you're still in waiting mode is because you haven't gone out yet and like spoke your truth, like really, truly shown everyone what you really think, is what I'm hearing. You have thoughts that you have kept private to yourself out of fear of being judged, out of fear of being seen as, oh, how could you? Like, who are you? Who did you change into? Like, what possessed you, is what I'm hearing. This is the critical dialogue that you're going to receive, or what you believe you might receive, which is, what possessed you to say something like that? Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you like this? Right? All of these phrases that people will spit at you, whether it's loved ones or family members or strangers you don't know. And you're just like, well, my opinion is my opinion. And what I'm hearing is that you used to operate in this manner where you gave exactly what they wanted and what they needed, but you never received anything for it. And that's because you're true, like, what you're truly going to receive, the vitality and the passion and the desire that you want to manifest, like all the things that you want to manifest, your magic comes from your truth. Your magic comes from your truth, from you choosing to be honest for once in your life. You have not been honest with yourself. You've not been honest. Being honest means you have to walk into the unknown. Being honest means you have to become something wild and misunderstood. Being honest means that you actually have to wield the power that you know that you have, and to not give an equal exchange to people who are requiring you to be something you're not. And who are you really? Well, you're not this person who wants to sit around waiting anymore. You're something completely different than what everyone has tried to make you into, is what I'm hearing. And for once, yeah, we have ascension, we have wings here with the priestess deck. You're finally seeing this open door, this world that is truly yours for the taking. This different version of you that can ascend beyond all of the narratives that you have once suffered under, drowned under, right? It's such a different image from the drowning in the thoughts to being kind of open and clear and able to stand again in your own 2 feet. Because all of these swords here represent societal norms. They represent people's expectations of you. They represent what you think you should, how you think you should look, and how you think you should act, what you think you should say that's appropriate. What's appropriate right now, right? You have all of these old narratives and programming that make you believe that suffering is okay, that suffering is actually what you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be living. And that's not true. You're supposed to feel free and open. You're supposed to feel clear-minded. And I'm hearing also that like social media may have a lot to do with this as well. Like you're feeling all this fear, this anger, and all the things you don't want to look at or see. And the truth is that you do not need to participate in all of this energy that's coming at you. Feel free to open a new door, walk down a different path. It is time to pick your path, and your path is yours alone. It is no one else's. You no longer need to listen to the guideposts. You no longer need to pay attention to the signs that other people are giving you. What does your heart tell you? What is it that you really want? I'm not called to talk to the cards anymore because the cards are right now representing all of these messages that other people want you to listen to. But deep down, there's something that you truly desire. There's something that you want in life. And maybe until now, you've been afraid to admit it. And that's why you've struggled with, oh, I should do what they want. I should try to perfect myself. I should try to phrase things in a certain way so I'll be understood. I should give up on my dream because it's not realistic. But what Spirit is trying to evoke in all of this feeling that you have is that, well, how do you desire things to unfold? What do you desire? What does your soul desire? What do you want? And don't say it's not that simple. I'm seeing the notebook in my head. It's like, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. It is that simple. If everything in the world could support you in your dreams and what you desire, what would you choose? If nothing was wrong, if there were no choice, no wrong choice, where would you go? Who would you be? What would your life be like? These are the true things that you have been unwilling to admit to yourself, what you've been hiding from. You think it's not possible, so you say, okay, well, I'll work this job until I can afford to have that life. Instead of saying, no, I want that life and I want that life now. And I'll do whatever I have to get it. You see the difference? One is leaving your future up to fate and timing, and the other is claiming that future. So claim your future, claim your desire, claim the life that you dream of living. And I will see you next time, my stars.